Hello and welcome. My name is Jordan and I'm a CEO of MySynergy. Thank you for taking the time today to join us. During our masterclass today, we're going to discuss the biggest challenges in healthcare and pharma industry together with Microsoft and subject matter experts, and how the use of innovation technologies can tackle these challenges. By the end, you will feel ridiculously confident and empowered to start your digital transformation journey for better patient outcomes. And with our free surprise at the end, stay tuned for that little secret. You can start that today. To make sure we are helping you as best as we can we have a chat box to source your questions. Feel free to drop us questions on the topic or share your struggles and experiences. We'll answer your questions by the end of the session, where we'll also have a Q&A session. Also, don't worry about making notes, since we'll send the session's recording your way after the event. So without further ado, let me introduce you to the subject matter experts who will talk on a roundtable discussion about the challenges and pain points in healthcare and pharma industry, so you can learn the importance of the ecosystem and digital transformation, how innovations and technologies are facing those challenges, and why is this so important. Our first speaker today is Ruthie Kaidar. She is Director of Healthcare Industry Sector for a CE region in Microsoft. Ruthie leads the health industry sector at Microsoft, covering the Central and Eastern Europe, working closely with customers and partners to digitally transform health systems, develop health industry relevant solutions, and enable better healthcare experience, leveraging the latest e-health and digital healthcare technologies from Microsoft and its partners. Our next attendee is Kalin Dimchev, Country Manager Lead in NC Region, Country Manager Bulgaria. He is covering the CE multi-region, which includes 24 countries. We have Dr. Rosen Dimitrov, Public Affairs Manager at Novartis Bulgaria. He is a doctor by education and marketer by occupation. He has more than 15 years of experience in the pharmaceutical industry. Moreover, he is a Public Affairs Manager at Novartis Bulgaria. In the recent years, he has worked on key positions at Novartis Oncology Bulgaria and Europe. Dr. Dimitrov is also a member of the Board of Directors of Digital Health and Innovation Cluster Bulgaria. Mira Ganova, she is a Doctor of Philosophy in the field of Organization Management and Business Communications and founding member of and CEO of Digital Health and Innovation Cluster. Before DHI Cluster, she's been working as a head of PR department for the Bulgarian Medical Association in Bulgaria. After this, Mladen Georgiev, co-founder and CTO of MySynergy, will demonstrate a live demo of our innovative PowerApps solution, MyCare PSP, and how it responds to the issues the industry is facing, followed by a customer success story directly from Alexiev, founder and CEO of one of our biggest clients, SAT Health, a trustworthy certified provider of healthcare analysis based on real-world data and patient support programs for the pharmaceutical industry. So let's start with Ruthie and Microsoft's vision about the development of healthcare and digital technologies. Ruthie, please take the stage. Thank you.
Thank you, Jordan. Very, very honored to be here, and thank you for the invitation. Let me see if I can share my screen. I think you do. You probably need to give me the access, or
there we go.
Perfect. Thank you very much. And okay. Can you see my full screen?
Yes, we do.
Perfect. So again, big thank you. First of all, thank you for the partnership. I think the partnership with MySynergy has been a very close collaborative partnership, and thank you for the trust, and thank you for the joint journey. And thank you for the opportunity to speak here. You know, leading healthcare at such interesting times, let's say, is really a journey for every single person that is in this business. You know, COVID has affected every single industry, but I think healthcare is one of the industries which has been affected mostly from COVID. And really, we've seen that in order to respond to the pandemic and to the growing needs in the market, health organizations and health providers and even healthcare solution providers just need to accelerate and introduce technology very, very fast. And this is what we're seeing. So what I want to share today is the new vision of healthcare. And this new vision comes from the thousands of customers that we've been working with before the pandemic, but I think this has really shaped during the pandemic because many customers, which is basically healthcare organizations, and also many of our partners like My Synergy and others came to us and said, listen, we need an ability to access data now, or we need an ability to share data between entities, or we need to speak to our healthcare, to our patients from home. So with time, this new vision of healthcare has shaped, and I would say it starts with this holistic view of the patient, that we want to gain insights and actionable next steps of the patient. There is a consumerization of healthcare from the patient side. We'll talk about it later, but that is really creating a growing need, both from the patient side and the caregiver side, to have this holistic view of the patient. We want to increase the number of patients served and still maintain the high quality and high touch interactions. We want to visualize health trends, so it's not enough just to have the data. We want to make sure that our trends, our data, and everything is just seen there as in a picture, visualized with the trends and outcomes. We want to serve the community. We really want to make sure that we're out there serving anybody and everybody everywhere. This has been especially important in COVID, where we needed to reach everybody with tests and vaccines and any treatment that we can everywhere at the same time. We also want a platform that can scale with us, right? You know, with every new wave of the pandemic, you know, I live in Israel, and we just got over the fourth wave, and now they're, you know, looking at the numbers and thinking, what is the trend now? So it's a constant, you know, kind of sign to sign, especially during COVID. So we need to be able to have a system that can scale up and down with us, no matter what we're dealing with as a healthcare system. COVID has really accelerated that or emphasized that, but it's not only during COVID, it's every time. We have you know, we have trends and we have waves of pandemics and other aspects that we need to scale with, up and down with. And finally, we want to improve patient care. We want to improve that experience both for the patient and for the caregiver. So what we see is that the biggest demand that health providers are dealing with now, and the biggest, I would say, challenges they need is, first of all, virtual health, right? So if in 2019, 11% of people even thought about virtual health, today that number is at 76%. We want to talk about health outcomes. There's a huge amount of data that is out there, and we want to make sure that we can take this data and make data-driven decisions out of them. And we want to apply analytics and even artificial intelligence and insights and outcomes out of it. So that's a very important pillar. There's a huge need for collaboration within a healthcare organization, between healthcare organizations. So care team collaboration is key. And finally, security pressures. Here we've seen a growing number of security, data breaches, ransomware attacks. They have summed to $7.1 billion of damage from security breaches and ransomware attacks. So this is definitely something that needs to be addressed, and we need to make sure that any system that we introduce is secured by an end-to-end security and privacy platform. So from our side at Microsoft, what do we see? We see that the main, there are three pillars, I would say, that are the main challenges and the main trends that healthcare is innovating. One is enhancing patient engagement. We want to make sure we're streamlining that communication with the patient. We want to make sure that we're improving the clinical and operational insights and outcomes, and we want to empower care teams. So for empowering patients, it means really making sure there is a direct communication system between the patients. Improving clinical operational insights means that we take the data, and then we start extracting. 90% of the data is actually not structured, and not available for making data-driven decisions. So let's consolidate the data and bring operational and clinical insights and empowered care teams. And I want to finish by where all the dots connect, because of the needs that we see with our healthcare providers that we work with and our partners, we have built this Microsoft Cloud for Healthcare to have some kind of industry-driven approach, a healthcare speaking technology platform to be able to give healthcare providers and healthcare solution companies like MySynergy an ability to provide this better care, this better insights, and better experiences for patients and caregivers. It is across those 3 pillars that we talked about. And what you can see here is that there is a data and a connector layer that is the one that is speaking healthcare on top of the Microsoft Cloud. But the important thing is the partner ecosystem. And that's where partners like MySynergy come in, and they plug into the abilities that the Cloud for Healthcare comes with, and they're the last mile to the health provider. They're the ones that know how to take the platform and make it relevant, customized, and right for the end customer, which is a health provider usually. And that way, the 3 pillars that we're talking about is very aligned with the 3 pillars that MySynergy is focused on, which is access, quality, and outcomes. Thank you very much. Jordan, over to you.
Thank you, Ruthie. That was very kind from you, and we really believe in what we are doing. I would like to briefly introduce our company before we continue to our roundtable discussion. Just let me see if I can share my screen. Yes. So, do you have visual? Let me know when you have visual of the screen.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. So, on outside, MySynergy is a digital consultancy providing IT services to the healthcare. But at our core, we are healthcare enthusiasts committed to the betterment of patients' lives and well-being through digitalization. We exist to digitize, enhance, and enable healthcare for all. We do analyze, automation, and optimize processes in the healthcare sector. And our commitment is to improve patient outcomes and the overall patient experience, and to make healthcare more accessible by empowering value-based healthcare initiatives and develop tailor-made digital solutions. Our skill set and capabilities, in general, these are the IT services that we provide to our customers, and with which we create the access to the data that Ruthie mentioned earlier. By enabling access to the data with the IT services, then we do applications, value-based healthcare services and applications in order to define the quality with real data, real-world data collection, data processing, handling, quality of care improvement to achieve a medical outcome analysis and improvement. So with the value-based healthcare services and initiatives, we gather all the expertise and we focus it in our products, which we have on top of the Microsoft Cloud for Healthcare. And our top products so far are MyCare PSP, which we're going to show you a little bit later, and MyCare V for vaccination monitoring. So with our expertise and with our products, what we would like to achieve and what we have already achieved with our clients, we serve healthcare institutions, and with our projects there, we have already saved more than 1,200 hours of patient time monthly by optimizing their processes and with patient-centric platforms and creating workflows that is focused on the patient. With the products like MyCare PSP, we serve the pharma companies and medical and caregiver providers to reduce the time to treatment initiation with 53% so far by our analysis of what our client says. Of course, enabling and supporting different patient pathways, more than 5,000 so far. And we help health and care startups to become successful vendors for the pharma industry with due diligence audits that we deliver to them. So far, our impact on the healthcare. In Bulgaria, we're impacting more than 35,000 practitioners every year, more than 15,000 medical students annually, and of course, more than 10,000 patients impacted with our services and products. This is part of our executive team. These are the people that believe in our mission. And yeah, in short, that's it. Now, I would like to invite everyone from our participants to the roundtable where we're going to discuss the challenges that the pharma sector and the healthcare is challenging. Please, you can have your camera on and open the session. Mira, Ruthie, Rosen, and Colleen, thank you very much, guys, for your participation today. So, Ruthie, again, back to you. Can you please share with us and just tell us what is the Microsoft's how by design, how is complying with all these standards in the healthcare? What is the added value about international and local compliance, security, trustworthy?
Yeah, great question. So the interesting thing is that there is, I would say, global compliance levels, you know, EU levels, compliance level, and always also country compliance levels. And what we try to do is always make sure that our products from the back-end side are always compliant with all the medical guidelines and compliance levels, especially, you know, HIPAA, ISO, HL7, FHIR, and so forth, so that healthcare organizations and also healthcare solution providers know that the compliance level, the compliance layer of the solutions is taken care of and always updated, and that's very important because these compliance guidances are always updated. So they're updated on the back end, and then the focus is on the front end and providing the right solutions for the healthcare providers' needs.
Thank you. So I really believe that Microsoft has all these compliance standards by design, and that's one of the reasons that we have this successful partnership. Colleen, can you share with us a little bit about more what is the strategy in the different countries? You're leading 24 countries in the region. What are the needs of the different markets?
Thanks, Jordan. Hello, everybody. From a business perspective, the PowerApps part of the Microsoft PowerApp platform is one of the fastest growing cloud application building solutions that our clients are adopting everywhere in 24 countries that I work on, but as a flexible platform for their business specific needs. You know, this is something that really any type of business size industry is adopting. A bit on the scale, we have more than 10 million users worldwide currently for this platform, and 91% of the Fortune 500 companies use the PowerApp platform for smart application development. Also, many of our clients have at the moment 10,000 plus users, to name 3M, Ernst & Young, Sony, and just some other clients. And all these facts show the trust and the scale that businesses, companies give to the PowerApp platform. And on the same platform, the MyCare PSP solution is built by MySynergy. So this is standardized, scalable, and flexible approach, and it can be adapted again for any market, any client, also giving fast return on investment. The platform is easy to implement, but at the same time, it has enterprise-grade functionality, security, and adaptability from different perspectives, which is very, very important for the healthcare business and data management solutions with any participant, provider, user, accessor of data. So indeed, this is a trusted and enterprise-grade platform. Again, real-life example on how easy to use is that the MyCare PSP solution was built in less than 3 months. Fast, easy, and adaptable. Important to mention is also the PowerApps is integrated with all Microsoft other cloud platforms, Azure, Office 365, and Dynamics 365. So most of the customers, they'll find easy to use it and integrate into the overall business process and communication flows that they have into their existing organization. At last, I would like to mention that partnership like the one we have here between MySynergy and Microsoft on multiple markets gives companies and organizations that focus on patient programs the ability to use common platform, common model and approach for efficient data processing, and hence the opportunity to have a fast, trusted, and scalable approach into solving their specific data challenges. Thank you.
Thank you, Kalin. Thank you. And what I summarized from that, a couple of times, you said the standardized way, fast return on investment, easy rollable. So I would really like to emphasize and to summarize this, because using a solution like Power Platform to create such an innovative, using such innovative technologies to create this product is very important from a business perspective, because once built, this platform can very easily be rolled outable in the different countries, meeting the different needs. So basically, we have here one product, many markets. And I think Rosen will explain a little bit later why is this. But before this, I would like to give the stage to Mira. And Mira, can you please highlight why is the ecosystem so important in building such applications and gathering these people together?
Hi, Jordan. Hi, everybody. Thank you very much for the invitation. And most of it, thank you for the opportunity to discuss such an important topic as the digital transformation and how this process could support and brings more added value to the healthcare sector through the integration and implementation of digital solutions as the ones you mentioned already. Now, today I'm representing Digital Health and Innovation Cluster Bulgaria. It's a regional ecosystem in Bulgaria. Briefly, I'll tell you about our organization and the partnership approach that we have created in regional level. In 2018, led by the need of the society for better medical care and for more value in the healthcare sector, and also inspired by the European policy for building innovation ecosystems, 11 companies, Bulgarian companies, IT and pharmaceutical companies, decided to found an organization, a platform with the purpose to support the creation of a data-driven healthcare, and in this way to boost the sustainability and the efficiency in the healthcare system. We decided that the right way to do this is exactly what Ruthie said, by developing an entrepreneur ecosystem where all the stakeholders can collaborate and brings value through their own expertise and knowledge, and this way foster the adoption and the integration of digital solutions among the healthcare system. In 2021, Digital Health and Innovation Cluster Bulgaria has already 35 members, technological and pharmaceutical companies, and all of them are striving for digital transformation in the healthcare sector. The most important that we succeed creating this organization is that we successfully created a platform where the industry knowledge meets technology. And we saw that this partnership approach between the industry, the state, and the healthcare professionals, patient, is the right way to boost the innovation creation on regional level. This platform, as you imagine, is like an open source, which goal is to use the power of the community and accelerate the adoption and the implementation of innovative health solutions. The most important is that this close collaboration and this partnership in this common platform reduce the path to create digital solutions and products, which can adequately respond to the patient and the healthcare needs, thanks to the to the expertise and the specific knowledge of all participants in this platform, in this organization. Exactly a great example of this successful partnership approach is the work between MySynergy, Microsoft, and SatHealth. These companies are our members and belongs to a common society, belongs to a emerging new innovation culture, know each other, know their work, know their expertise, and through constant knowledge exchange, they succeeded to create a solution in very short terms, a product that can support the patient and the physicians and optimize the operational and the administrative and clinical process in the healthcare system and in the healthcare structure all over the world. So we believe that the key for bring more added value to the healthcare sector is exactly the close collaboration between the industry. And as I said, great example of this approach, of this emerging ecosystems is the successful product of MySynergy, SatHealth, and Microsoft. And I believe this collaboration, those products can bring more added value to the healthcare sector and support the functionality in the system and all.
Thank you, Mira. So, need for innovation, better healthcare environment, fast track to market of healthcare solutions with high added value, thanks to the synergy of the ecosystem which providing. So, I'm really thrilled about all these because from the whole beginning we are members of the Digital Health Innovation Cluster, and it was really very important for us to be part of this ecosystem because with the product today, thanks to this cluster, we met SatHealth, our biggest client and who uses our platform. And again, thanks to this cluster, we partnered with Microsoft and we really made this product very fast in terms of time because of this partnership. We use the enterprise-grade platform and technology. We use a very big client in our country here with which we can have a direct feedback. And together with this and our domain level expertise, we built this product, as Colin said, in less than 4 months. I would like to give the stage to Rosen. And Rosen, can you please tell us what is the pharmaceutical point of view? What are the challenges in the pharma sector? Please.
Jordan, we need a special event for that, not just a short panel discussion. Before we start, I listened very carefully to the panelists, and I took some notes, and I would like to share with you a couple of key words that I think are very important, not just for the pharma industry, but also for the healthcare professionals and in general for the healthcare system. So, compliance, scalability, standardization, flexibility, security, integration, ecosystem, digital transformation, collaboration, patient needs, co-creation. So in fact, all these words are so important for the pharma industry and for the patients and for the healthcare systems in general. And I'm very happy that the panelists, they all tackled on that. And now I will move to my domain, which is the pharma industry. Talking about patient support programs, this is a very important tool in order to provide the needed quality for our patients. So now we are talking not just for our products, for our pharmaceutical products, we are talking about solutions beyond the pill. And this is exactly what the patient support programs gives to our patients and to the healthcare professionals. So the first main point here should be product and solution. So solution beyond the pill. And then everything we do, it should be definitely patient-centric. So the need of the patient, someone mentioned this, patient needs. So it should cover certain unmet patient needs. And then someone also talked about the co-creation and how my synergy met another company from the cluster, ICT Health. So the process of co-creation is very important, but not just between the tech companies, but the pharmaceutical companies should be involved in that process of co-creation. We need this, and we need this from the very beginning. Also, the base of each patient support program should be this IT platform. And what is important for us as a pharma industry, this IT platform should be used for reporting. We need a certain level of auditing, outcome follow-up, including even the patient-reported outcomes. Of course, everything done in a compliant way, aggregated data, no personal data, everything that we know. And then talking about the final purpose of these patient support programs, yes, they should cover patient needs. And what are these patient needs? Three main things. First, patient support programs having this IT base and all the other elements, they should give better access to healthcare services to our patients. So the first thing is better access. Then the second thing should be better quality of the healthcare service, which is provided by this patient support programs. And then at the end of the day, we need to achieve certain outcomes for our patients, provided by our product, but also provided by the additional service that this patient support programs gives to them. Access to quality service with a certain outcome. This is what we need as a pharma industry, and the support from the tech companies and this kind of cooperation is very important. And something else which we don't discuss very often, these patient support programs, they're not lifelong, at a certain time point, the strategy of a pharmaceutical company could change. So we could have also an exit strategy. Okay, what will happen if? And all these platforms, the IT platform, the IT solutions under these patient support program should consider also the fact that at a certain time point, an exit strategy is needed to be present.
But by saying exit strategy, what exactly do you mean?
I mean that at a certain time point, this patient support program could be stopped for a certain reason. And we have, from a compliance point of view, and
yeah, okay. And you need a solution to handle all this compliance and security in order to make sure that the patient data
patient safety and regulatory obstacles, everything should be there. And that's why we need this follow-up. That's why we need this IT infrastructure under the patient support program.
Thank you. Thank you for outlining the challenges in front of the pharma sector. Then what I've got from this is patient adherence to therapy identified by the pharma industry as the biggest, longest standing challenge. Lack of international standardization with slower business outcomes, regulatory and compliance risk, and need for patient-reported outcomes. And again, I would like to emphasize that our strategy in MySynergy is not just building one product for something that we serve, but to have the entire holistic vision with IT services providing the access to this data, with our value-based care services and products providing the quality of this data. And then at the end, using all these technologies and know how to provide the reporting, the outcomes, the insights given by analyzing this big data. Because after all, it's all about the patient outcomes, right? Thank you, Rosen. Thank you for this. And Mira, can I come back to you again? And can you, as a experienced with your expertise, you are experienced and you have expertise in the healthcare provider sector. So can you please share with us and define what are the challenges in the healthcare provider sector?
Sorry, I have to unmute my microphone. Thank you for this question, Jordan. As Rosen mentioned, we need more time to speak about the challenges in the healthcare system, not only in Bulgaria, but on a world level.
I believe it's so, yeah.
Yes, but I'm going to outline some of the most important challenges that we have to overcome. As Ruthie said, COVID-19 affected the whole world, but mostly reflected to the healthcare system and to the patient access to medical care and to the quality of this medical care. So one of the biggest challenges in the healthcare industry are the patient outcome improvements, as the previous panelist mentioned.
So again, the patient outcomes.
Again, the patient outcomes. This is the biggest challenges on my opinion, and on regional and on world level. So governments have a focus on managing costs while they have to delivering improved patient outcomes. In the digital environment, digitally, as Rosen said, enable beyond the pill solutions, which include not just drugs, but also solutions and products that can collect and analyze the huge volume of data and to monitor the patient's conditions between visits to healthcare providers. And this is becoming critical to serving both patient needs. Also, there are often multiple similar overlapping solutions covering the healthcare practitioners and patients. This diversity of platforms can be a little bit confusing when the key to patient satisfaction is just simplicity, consistency, and a better experience. Furthermore, this diversity of platforms, as Rosen said, can create a compliance risk, given the change in tracking interaction. So the digitalization process now is crucial to be implemented in the healthcare sector. We need to improve the whole functionality in the health system and the work of the medical specialist, the patient, to improve the patient outcomes, to reduce the cost for the medical care, and deliver better and more value on this care. So the digitalization gives us time, information, and transparency. Through digital solutions, through all these digital process and those innovation, we can collect, analyze the huge volume of this information and organize it in a way to help to support the physician to take informed and effective decision.
And here, sorry for interrupting you, but I would like to emphasize here on the huge amount of data and ability to take informed and effective decision. And I always like to give this example. All of us have used planes and have flight with planes, right? Imagine how much data is generated during only one flight. Hundreds of thousands of sensors in one airplane are gathering data and analyzing this data to give insights to only two pilots, which are controlling the plane. And these two pilots have to take informed and effective decisions in order to take off and land securely. And why I'm giving you this example? Because our body, patients, people, we are like an airplane. We have thousands of hundreds parameters in our body that we need to measure. And if we don't measure these parameters, we don't have a real-time monitoring over our body. We go twice or 3 or 4 times during the year to make regular checkups, but this is just a snapshot of our current situation. It's not our representing our actual situation. So we need these digital solutions. We need to monitor ourselves continuously, 24 hours, in order to take effective decisions and in order to control the disease and prevent the disease. Because if we monitor our body as the plane is monitored throughout the flight, then I believe that we can have prevention effective. And then we will know what's going to happen before it actually happens. And this is actually the patient outcomes. This is the outcome that we all want to achieve. Right?
Jordan, can I go ahead, Mira?
Yes,
I want to add something after you're done. Yeah, go ahead.
Ruthie, I'm sorry. Yes.
So just to continue what Jordan said, so we're really seeing, so you're talking about the parameters of the patient, but just imagine there's a whole set of additional data that's coming from external sources like home care and like beyond the pill and sensors and even wellness sensors that, you know, we want to take all this information and all this data and actually consolidate it into this holistic view.
Exactly.
And then what we're seeing is that actually the patient paradigm is moving from this reactive patient paradigm, like you said, of, okay, I don't feel well, I go to the doctor, I get treated, and the cyclic, it actually becomes a proactive approach where everything is connected. There is a predictive element to the care. The sensors are always there, the data is always being analyzed, and then we can actually foresee situations and actually, you know, even prevent them. So definitely a big shift in paradigm there.
And imagine what kind of big data is you need. Definitely platform. There is no way a human can operate with this data.
Exactly.
Yes, that's exactly what I'm talking about. We have an obligation to use this data in 21st century. We must use this data to cure, to prevent, to diagnose better, to treat the patient better, and this way to improve the patient's outcomes. Certainly, this is going to happen if we use the data, collect the data on a manner to give more value in the healthcare sector. So we have responsibility to do this, you know.
Yes, Rosen.
I would like to emphasize on what Ruthie said, proactive approach. In fact, proactive approach defines exactly what healthcare means. It's taking care of the health, not treating the disease. So, Ruthie, I think this was an excellent, like a sum up of this discussion. Thanks for this.
Yeah.
Mira, is there something else you can share with us about the healthcare sector?
A lot of things, Dancho, a lot of things. Another significant challenge that I can mention is the, you know, the tedious patient processing where, yes, where he needs medical care. There is a lot of administrative burden for all players in the healthcare sector, for healthcare providers, for the healthcare professionals, and of course for the patient. Unfortunately, now the system converts the patient in document carrier and the physician in administrators. We also observe regional inequality of medical care regarding the regional access to qualified medical care, to qualified professional care. Lack of quality of data, and of course interoperability for informed and effective decision making. And this leads us all to poor patient outcomes and of course to system disabilities. Also something very important regarding the proactive patient approach and engagement, we certainly need to improve the communication and the patient health management. And of course, as Ruthie said, enable the patient engagement. How can we do that? Dancho, can I ask you a question?
Yeah, sure.
Yes. So regarding my previous words, have you ever had a call from a mobile operator trying to sell you some products or additional services to buy?
Every other month or so.
Okay, let me ask you another question. Have you ever had a call from your GP to remind you to go to a prevention screening visitation or to prevention checkup or lab test or something like this?
No, actually, you know, that question raised a really topic I wanted to emphasize on, and this is that again with the checkups and with the prevention, like most of the patients or potential patients, these are people that are in active age, which means they have a dynamic everyday going back and forth working. So these people, most of the time, they don't have time to remember that they have to go and make a checkup with their GP. Unfortunately, I never had such a call. Answering directly to your question, nobody asked me, taking care of me, you know, come and you haven't been here for the last 1 year, come and check up. And I think that's one of the most important things regarding the prevention and the proactive engagement communications with patients. And because we believe in this is something that probably my colleague Mladen will show you in a little bit in our demo, but for that a little bit more in a minute.
So Dancho, you are not proactive now. You are not engaged with the healthcare system because you believe that you're in a perfect shape. Do you?
So, you know, my understanding is that the human psychology is like, if I don't have any problems, I don't have to see the doctor.
Yes,
but that's
exactly.
not true.
Exactly.
And one of the things that we want to tackle with our product is exactly this specific need. Like you see that we have one specific functionality, which is specifically developed for medical centers, for the healthcare providers in general, that can actively notificate, alert the patients, and actively engage the patients to push them, to trigger them to go and see the doctor before they have some problems. Because as we know, specifically in the oncology, when you have a problem within the oncology domain, probably it's too late. And earlier detection means curable disease. So I just would like to summarize and to make sure that I got your message right. So patient outcome improvements identified by the healthcare industry as the biggest challenge due to lack of quality data interoperability. Multiple similar overlapping solutions confusing healthcare professional and patients. Tedious patient processing. And again, regulatory and compliance risk for the healthcare sector. Need for better communication and patient engagement, quality of service. This is what I got from your message. And I think this is one of the same repeating over in the industries with the little deviations, of course, but these are certainly a lot of challenges facing healthcare sector. So I would like to move on and explain, so how exactly does MyCare PSP is resolving these challenges? And this is through our core functionalities, of course. Now, our CTO, Mladen Georgiev, is going to show us a live demo of the product and map this challenging with the specific solutions that we cover in our platform. Mladen, please, you have the screen, so go ahead. Thank you guys for this participation in our roundtable.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, we see your screen.
You see
Yeah, we can hear you. Yes, but we don't see you. Now we see you.
Thank you, Jordan. So, really great discussion. And the first thing I want to say is that the system allows for a case-by-case patient tracking. Each patient support program participant has its own profile in the system, which is associated with the therapy timeline, the overseeing doctor, the medicine type, and the medicine intake. You can see now the screen. It is here the general contact information of the patient, the consent, which is really important from the compliance perspective when we are talking with patient data, patient information with related persons for this patient, and all patient pathways that the patient is taking. And we have also a detailed view with notes about the patient and the timeline of all the medication intakes that he has. I want to show you, we are talking a lot about the patient support programs. I want to show you how a patient support program looks like. It has predefined stages, predefined order, how we can proceed with this. Here is the patient with information, what is the medicine and in which specialty it is, the indication, And we have different stages, and based on some events, we move from stage to stage. And we also have predefined order how we proceed based on decisions. When the patient is a practitioner commission and decision is taken to as a positive to have some kind of treatment, you can see that the path is changing. And when we have the positive decision from the EMC, the practitioner commission, we go to reimbursement stage, when the reimbursement from the regional health fund is gathered. And when we have a positive on this reimbursement, we have protocol validity from some date. And when the decision is positive there, we go to the treatment stage. Treatment stage defines which is our medication, what is the medication plan. It is automatically generated based on the medication standards. We can generate the medication plan, and you can see such plan generated here. It is showing all the dates which the patient needs to take a medicine, and this is all taken in the patient record. And we can have proactive calling the patient, and we know when he has completed medication intake, which is active now medication intake, and what medication intakes he has in the future. We have results about these medication intakes. We can know the actual intake date, and the plan is adjusted based on what date the patient takes, because this is a real world scenario, and something can happen, and we need to adjust really quickly. We know what is the healthcare provider that the medication is taken from, and etc. So the second thing is I want to mention is that the system has two built-in features for direct communication with patients: an integrated VoIP extension and a reminder functionality. I'll show you just now how this looks like. And when a patient calls his assistant, his medical record is automatically open, and it is shown to the assistant. So the assistant can take actions and can see all the medical records of the patient just before taking the call, and during the call he knows all the history, and he's providing personalized care for this patient.
So Mladen, do you state that so if, for example, I'm a guy in a call center and I'm doing something, if I get a call, the patient record will pop up?
Yep. This is exactly what you see. I'm the person in the call center. You see here, this is my dialing screen. I can call the patients directly from the app, and as you see, the medical record of the patient just popped up here, and I can see all the history of the patient and what is the future intakes of medicines and etc., manipulations and everything for this patient.
For me, this is extremely important because, for example, every time when I call the hospital or when I call my GP and they start to transfer me over the phone, every time they ask me one and the same question, and then I start over and over again, and this is so frustrating about the patients. So yeah, I believe this CRM-like functionality will save a lot of time, both for the patients and for the healthcare practitioners. Thank you for showing this.
Yeah, exactly. In combination, these tools mean that an assistant within the company running the PSP can call or ping the participant when it's time for the next intake, or when there's a new regulation or document concerning their condition and therapy. All of this ensures that prescribed therapy is being followed through by the patients. This was identified by our clients as a key feature that was missing from the previous use system: the ability to call the patient directly from the user interface, or vice versa, as I showed, and record the call and its parameters is something that differentiates our system from similar platforms. Additionally, the system is modular in nature, which means that it can connect to different sources of patient information for remote monitoring, such as IoT devices and third-party apps. Clients are then able to analyze large amount of patient data to gain insights for patient outcome improvements. I can show you now a demo of reports. These are reports of data. It is everything gathered from the system. You see here assistants and their active patient pathways by assistant. These reports are all interactive, so I can dive in. I can go further and take like the different indication of the patient pathways, and I can open this deeper. So I see the assistant Sylvia Gancheva, and I see the different indications of the patients of this assistant. So this is all interactive. It is very flexible, and you can get a lot of insights on this. So MyCare PSP allows for customized, well-designed programs that are tailored to individual preferences. Moreover, it has a consistent core comprised of uniform healthcare components, which can be deployed across various markets, granting business continuity and interoperability. It can be scaled, improved, upgraded, and deployed quickly and easily. This means that it is able to adapt to emerging changes in a streamlined manner that puts industry standards front and center.
And this is actually exactly the one, sorry for interrupting you, but I just want to refer to what Colleen said earlier about the need for the different markets and how important it is to have a solution that can easily be deployed and rolled out to the different countries while still covering their specific needs and regulations.
Yeah, exactly. I'm showing you just right now the master data of the system and how a patient support program is defined. You can see some patient support program for gastroenterology. You can go and see the medication plans, and everything is defined by the world standard and how the patient should be treated by different type of medication. You can see the different consecutive days and application IDs and etc. This is all adaptable, and it is master data that is configured and doesn't need development or something to be deployed. So we can guarantee faster adoption and deployment to clients. And by employing an intuitive design and master repository with interchangeable help components, MyCare PSP provides a direct answer to the tedious patient processing that earlier Mira described as a significant challenge in healthcare industry. Proof of our business and a result-oriented approach is the initial rollout time of MyCare PSP, which took less than 4 months. We are confident that we can deploy the system even faster now. New patient support programs onboarding time is currently 2 weeks, which is 800% faster than the initial launch. Another key advantage is the ability to scale number of clients, the volume of processed data, and simultaneously running PSPs, courtesy of the automation of the application lifecycle management, as well as the cloud foundation the system is built upon. You saw how many programs we have, and this is, I'm showing you the screen right now again, and this is just for the span of 1 year. So the system can adapt and expand a lot. MyCare PSP gives better access to patient data collection and interpretation, and offers pharmaceutical companies and healthcare providers an opportunity to design tailored solutions to meet the needs of different patient groups in a focused and caring manner. And finally, the fact that the entire user interface and functionality lineup were developed following real-world user feedback gives the system a distinct advantage over components. MyCare PSP has been developed in collaboration with our client SAT Health. As such, the user interface as well as all key functionalities are derived from the direct user feedback. That is to say, the system interfaces and functionalities have been developed by each user for its users. In addition, best-in-class data visualization courtesy of Power BI allows for critical information to be displayed, granting management the ability to make intelligent decisions. This leads to a 30% decrease in the time spent on report generation as cited by our clients. This solution is built on Microsoft Cloud technologies, including Microsoft Dataverse, Azure PowerApps, Power Automate, and Power BI. The design of the database and all its interfaces are in compliance with world standard HL7 FHIR version 4. All integrations are implemented using Azure Web Services and Power Platform data connectors.
Thank you. Thank you for outlining this. I believe this is very important in any digital solution nowadays to have international standardization in terms of using worldwide accepted technologies, and HL7 is one of those. Because when you want to scale, when you go to different countries, you need to make sure that your product is usable and you guarantee interoperability with any other system throughout the world. So yeah, that was one of the main reasons that's why we choose to build that on top of Microsoft Cloud for Healthcare platform. Thank you for your demo, Mladen. As a summary, MyCare PSP tackles what has been identified by the pharma and healthcare industries as the biggest challenge: long-term therapy adherence and patient outcome improvements. With this idea in mind, that we created MyCare PSP, razor-focused PowerApps solution on improving the daily work of the healthcare professionals. And as such, our work has direct impact on the well-being of thousands of patients who suffer from incurable and life-threatening diseases throughout the world. It is our belief that ensuring the smooth flow of information across all points of care and operations in a manner that is efficient and sustainable to healthcare providers supports this ideal. I would like to introduce our next valuable guest, and this is Alexander Alexiev, who is CEO and founder of SAT Health. Alex, I just need to give you the presentation mode.
Hello, my name is Alexander. I'm founder and CEO of SAT Health. Thank you for having me here. I'm actually not showing any presentations because I think you touched most of the issues and challenges we were facing in our day-to-day work. I will talk about our partnership and the journey we began with MySynergy. First, we met in the digital healthcare cluster, and in the meanwhile, we were having issues with our information security. One of the audits showed that we are not compliant with the ISO standard we are having. It's 27001. So MySynergy came to us and offered to transform all our internal infrastructure and to move our services, all of our services, to Azure. So that's how our journey began, and they did tremendous work with our infrastructure, showing that they know the healthcare system and they knew actually what are our issues. This project finished, and we were facing the next issue, and our next challenge was providing a compliant reporting and a compliant service to our customers, which are the pharma companies. So we started discussing and looking for a platform which will serve our needs, providing patient support programs. This is how our journey with the MyCare PSP platform began. We needed structured data, we needed security of the data, and we wanted to serve our patients with a closed platform which provides not only services to patients, but by this platform they can communicate with the caregivers and the healthcare providers and healthcare professionals. So we received everything what we wanted in really short time, and the team of MySynergy showed real competence in the healthcare sector and real competence in what we need in general. So nowadays we have a platform which is very easy to use, which is really important for our caregivers, and they are now reducing their reporting and entering data time by more than 50%, because as you saw from the demo, everything is automated and it leads the caregivers by nature through their steps in their everyday work. So I would like to thank the whole team and the support of Microsoft, of course, through this journey, and we are looking now for the next steps, implementing new services and new technologies to our platform. Thank you.
Thank you, Alex. This is, I don't have words to say. From the client's perspective, this is a lot for us. Thank you. Thank you for those words. With this, I would like to invite everyone officially to turn the camera on and open the Q&A session. We have some questions that would like to discuss, and based on the audience, I already tried to answer, but before we go with them, Ruthie, I have one question to you. Can you please, I mean, from the many healthcare organizations that Microsoft work with worldwide, healthcare professionals, providers, this needs to transform, that we talk about vision, trends. How do you start this transformation journey?
It's a very good question, Jordan. I think the most important place to start from is the most burning pain and the most burning challenges, you know, a healthcare organization is facing. I think Mira touched upon it in her previous pitch. You know, different organizations are facing different challenges. So, you know, one organization has an okay data structure, but don't have any system for telehealth. Another one has 15 different systems not talking to each other, like we shared earlier, and but they can't consolidate them, but they need a layer on top of it just to have an API and something that is visual to be able to look at the data and use it. Another one really needs to focus on patient engagement and having this holistic view like you have, in order to even start looking at patients, you know, in a more long-term or continuous view. So I think the most important thing is to acknowledge and identify the initial challenge, but not leave it there. Do build a roadmap of, okay, we solved this challenge. What is the second challenge? What is the third? And what is the fourth? So that you already solved the first challenge with the view of the transformation roadmap, because the transformation is going to happen no matter what, because these systems need to be resilient today. They need to be digitized. They need to be transformed, and technology has to be introduced. We do need to look at the full roadmap to build it in a very resilient way.
And I think we touched this topic, but COVID-19 definitely accelerated very high this process of digitalization and the need of digitalization, because it showed us that those companies that were not flexible and agile enough, they had a big problem surviving. And Mira, based on your experience and expertise, what is the current situation within the healthcare providers? For example, in the hospitals, in terms of processes, information transparency to the patients. Do you think that the healthcare providers have processes in place to track and monitor patient flows? Do these patients know what to do when they go there? What's your point of view?
Dancho, first, great job to all, to Microsoft, to SatHealth, to MySynergy, impressive work. Really, I just want to tell you that such a solution do not resolve only one problem. Through this digital solution as MyCare PSP, we could improve the long-term sustainability of the healthcare system and overcome all the challenges as the pandemic itself, and to support the improvement of all processes in the healthcare system, in the healthcare structure, to enable better outcomes, and also to support very, very much the healthcare providers in their daily work. So regarding your question, I can speak on regional level on Bulgarian healthcare system. We need to optimize all the processes. We need to facilitate the communication between the hospitals, the healthcare professionals, and with the patient. We need to engage this patient to take responsibility on their own health. And I think that your solution, your product resolve those problems in the healthcare system, support the healthcare professionals, support the patient, optimize the whole patient journey, and improve the patient experience and the work of the healthcare professionals. No, we do not have such a solution in the healthcare system, but we need them crucially. We need them crucially. Imagine if we can integrate this solution or such a solution in the hospitals. What a satisfaction we can generate working with this data, working with this organized process, working with this organized data. It's just so impressive. And we, from our perspective, from Digital Health and Innovation Cluster, we strive for this. We want this to happen, and we are going to support all your efforts to do this. So thank you very much for your work and for your collaboration. We are very honored that we could merge these efforts and produce such a solution.
Thank you, Mira. Thank you. And I think the transparency is very, very important to the patients, and giving them a very straightforward pathway to go through in the hospitals, in the medical centers, wherever they are, because every one of us have been to the hospital. And to be honest, when I was in the hospital, I don't know what to do. I don't know where to go. You go and asking from door to door, everybody gives you different information. So transparency and communication with the patient is very important to achieve this satisfaction and patient experience. But transitioning again to the pharma, Rosen, again, why would pharma industry need such a platform like for example, MyCare, from what you see from the demo, for example? Why is this so important? I mean, pharma industry, they focus on pills, they focus on therapies, they focus on service providers like ACT Health, which executes the programs themselves. Why would they need this?
Because usually our products are just part of the solution. When doing our strategy, when doing our marketing, even in the pharmaceutical industry, we are much focused on the patient journey. And our solutions usually are just part of the patient journey. With this kind of patient support programs, in fact, we are having, I can't say the whole patient journey, but much bigger part. And this is more important for the patient. It's more important for his relatives, and it's even more important for the healthcare professionals who are doing their job every day. So the patient journey is key for the pharmaceutical industry. Our product is a little part. You're giving much more. Okay.
Thank you, Rosen. Alex, I would like to ask you one question. We have from the attendees, Mancho has asked one question. The healthcare providers are facing often problems working with IT tools. What is your recipe about this? In certain way, being our client, it's not, doesn't matter if it's you, our client, or it's a healthcare provider. So can you please tell us how did you face some problems working with these products, and what is the recipe about making these people in the healthcare providers working with such digital technology solutions?
To be completely honest, it's very difficult to introduce any new technology to the healthcare providers. Yeah, we are facing this issue every day. But that's what is our mission. We are trying to implement new technologies and new services which will help the patient, because we are all here because of the patients and to serve them. I can give you another perspective of the technology. In order to comply with all regulations, with all requirements of the pharma companies and the hospitals, we need to be compliant with the reporting, with the quality of the service, and via this platform, actually, we comply with everything. We are auditable in terms of pharmacovigilance reporting. We are auditable in terms of information security, and by collecting the patient data, we can deliver very good analytics and deep dive in the real-world evidence data. So yes, this journey is very difficult, but we are not giving up.
Thank you, Alex. I will add from myself, answering to Mancho's question, that from my experience within the healthcare sector, which has been 13 years so far, my point of view is that if you create a digital solution, you need to create this digital solution with the healthcare professionals together, to go together through this journey. Because when you build this together, they feel more involved. They feel part of this. They are much more eager to use this when they are part of this whole process. And when you work with them, you know how they actually are using their current systems now, and you try to do the user interface as much closer to what they are using now as possible. These are the ways that you can challenge those problems with adopting new IT solutions. This is what I think.
Agreed.
Yeah, and Mladen, last but not least, can you please explain to our attendees what were the business outcomes that we wanted to achieve when we were choosing the system's underlying technology? Very briefly.
Yes, Jordan. So we had several business outcomes in mind when we was designing the system. The first one was integration and interoperability. As I already said, the design of the database and all the interfaces are in compliance with the HL7 FHIR standard. All integrations are implemented using Azure Web Services and Power Platform data connectors. The second is compliance, security, and identity management. We are using Azure Active Directory, Advanced Identity Protection, and Microsoft Compliance Center audit works across all services described above.
So that means that we have this by design out of the box, right? So if we go to a client and if we want to install, they have all this security compliance and managing access to their Active Directory, so they don't need to have additional infrastructure and additional costs for implementing such platform. Am I right? Because I'm not that technical.
Yep, and on top of that, it seamlessly integrates with all of the infrastructure that they already have. So
thank you, Mladen.
The third one is scale and quality. We are able to scale up fast with no compromise on security by using cloud services, and because we employ Azure DevOps pipelines for application lifecycle management with complex branching strategies, sprint tracking, and automated testing.
And one final here addition, this is exactly the reason why we can serve so many clients at once. When you have a good process on the line, a baseline that you can handle all these version controls and everything, then you don't fear how many markets and how many clients you're going to serve. Thank you, Mladen. I think we are ready to say what is our little secret that I initially started with. So the first 3 participants that of today's webinar come back to us within 1 week, we receive a free €500 workshop with a power up in a day. During this workshop, we will show them how can they create their own process to digitize their own process or solution to tackle a certain business need that they have. And again, the first 3 participants that come back to us within 1 week will receive a free €500 workshop with Power Up in a day. With this, I would like to thank all of you. Ruthie, thank you so much for supporting us.
Is this including the panelists?
No, unfortunately.
We're experts here.
Ruthie, thank you once again for all the support. Alex, it's priceless to having such a customers like you. Thank you very much. Mladen, our CTO, thank you for being there for all the technical stuff. Rosen and Mira, without you, I think you're very valuable in terms of pharma and healthcare in Bulgaria. Thank you, guys. Thank you for today's attending. Stay healthy, take care.